it's the little button.
Got
that
it.
says
All right.
record.
Hey, everybody. Good morning. Today is, what day is today? The 1st of August. Welcome, everybody, to our Saturday training. We got some great stuff for you today. And, you know, I'm looking forward to a really great August. We've got so many good things going on and so many people looking at what's going on with Valentis. And we've got people pre-enrolling all the time. I mean, I think it's going to get really exciting. So, with that being said, I want to introduce you to your host, your co-host, Chuck Hanson from Wilmington, Triple Diamond with Valentis from Wilmington, North Carolina, where they're about to get hit with another hurricane, right?
That's right. I'm just watching it on my phone.
Exactly what you're doing.
Watching the weather radar. You know, it's getting old, guys. I mean, 3 years in a row, one right after the other, and this one looks like it's got a bullseye right on Wilmington. So that's not exactly why I moved here, but you know, that's what it is. So we're all prepared, generators and, you know, all of that stuff. So one of the things that you learn about living on the coast. So, hey, today is a very special training that we're going to do. And I want to introduce you to someone. Some of you may have already met Rick Cotton, maybe on some of our Tuesday night calls. But if you haven't, you're in luck. Great guy. Rick and I go back about 20 years. And, you know, I was searching for a solution to online marketing. And I was searching for the solution because of all the statistics that I was reading about all the people looking for a way to make money from home, looking for a home-based business. And I mean, Forbes magazine talking about 79 million people starting a home-based business over the next 5 years. And so the only way to reach those people was, you know, a big media campaign. And so I was searching, and Rick Gerals was helping me search, and John HAREMZA had been in and out looking at the same data. And lo and behold, I came across my good friend Rick. And Rick, he says, oh, you know, Rick started 2 network marketing companies during his career. One of them still operational. He sold that and operational now for 12 years. And he said, you know, you're in luck. I partnered up with one of the social media giants and legends in that arena, a guy by the name of Jeff Finn. And, you know, that's what we're doing now. And I go, well, problem solved. You know, let me show you what we're doing. He showed me what they were doing. And so it all started to fall in place. So from Vero Beach, Florida, I'd like to introduce you to my good friend. It says Richard, but he goes by Rick. So Rick, take it over, bud. Let's unmute you. There you go.
Well, thank you for that great introduction, and I appreciate it. And it's an honor to be here. I see Lori. I see all these faces I already know. I feel like we work with you guys all the time. You know, I don't know how I got so involved with this project, but I completely hook, line, and sinker all about Valentis and what you guys are doing. I believe in your leadership, from Dave Jordan to John to Chuck to Mitch to the entire team I've met. So I'm excited. And yeah, I've been doing digital marketing for many, many years. Actually, Chuck introduced me to a thing. We won't tell what it is, but 20 years ago when I was a missionary in Mexico, Chuck and I did a gig together. We had a good little run, and I started doing digital marketing back then with landing pages and email marketing and so forth. And I was able to do one event a year, and I learned the power of promoting an event and inviting to an event. And I always had the most people at those events. But more than that, I learned about digital marketing. And from that, I just kind of kept it in my career. And now the whole world has changed, right? We know that digital marketing is the way, especially with the day and age we live in, right? What's going on in the world and the statistics. We are really on the forefront of something special if we can embrace it and understand it. And I want to say digital marketing, not just funnels, because it really is an encompassed package. Today, we're going to talk about the co-op, and the co-op is not for everybody. I want to say that real clear. I want to sort and sift today who's right for the co-op and who's not right for the co-op. And we're going to talk about leads in general. I'm going to give you what we call Apple training. And we've done this for years and years, and it's always consistent no matter whether you're using social media, email marketing, whatever form of digital marketing. The 80-20 rule always applies. It's just one of those things. No, numerology just never lies, right? You know, if you take one of the things that blew me away years ago was, you know, if you take a jar of jelly beans, just the law of numbers, right? And you go out and ask 10 people how many jelly beans are in the jar, right? And you're going to get all over the place, 5,500, 50,000, 500. You know, it's going to be all over the place, you know, plus or minus 80, 90% right or wrong, right? You ask 5,000 people and it's plus or minus 5%. Now, how is that possible? It's the law of numbers, right? That's the law of numbers. Calling an election when there's 1.5% of the vote in, right? How does that happen? It's the law of numbers. And the same thing when we're talking about leads. You know, you're going to get lucky sometimes, you're going to get unlucky sometimes, but it's always going to be consistent. It'll be consistent along the rules I'm going to teach you guys today. So we're going to talk about that, the Apple rule, and then we're also going to talk about the new funnel. We kind of paused the campaign for a couple of days. I don't know if you guys noticed, but now you're getting a fresh set of leads are coming in. You're getting this new text that says hot lead. Anybody get a hot lead yet? Raise your hand. Okay. So I'm going to tell you what a hot lead is. Okay. These are leads that have gone through 3 steps in our process. Okay. So we're starting to let the system do more of the sorting and sifting. I know that John talks a lot in his training about sorting and sifting. If you've been in network marketing long enough, you know that that is the goal, right? You have to sort and sift the contacts in your phone, and you have to find out the people that are interested to have those conversations, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about the new funnel, the 3-part system, and then we'll review a little bit on what is our job. If we're going to work leads, we have a job to do, okay? It's a systematic job, but we have to do the job. If you're not going to do the job, then don't buy leads. Don't put your hard-earned money into leads. Trust me, work the warm market funnel that we gave you. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Work that. John was very gracious to be able to just give you that. That's a $297 a year, $397 a year funnel with his ebook giving away. Work that. Use that warm market funnel, okay? And we're going to talk about licensing, the one that we have as well that we're going to show you today. There's some licensing agreements that we have with other partners on it, but it's a powerful funnel. It's a funnel we've used in the past. We've cultivated, made it more of a Valentis funnel now. And again, I think I got so excited, Chuck, when you showed me your Powerline system. I think that's what got me so excited because I built a lot of lead systems for my own companies and other companies very successfully in the last few years. And this is probably the best one I think we've done. And a lot of it has to do not only with the momentum that you guys have, but also with that Powerline system. So what we have here, nobody else has. Nobody else in the entire industry has what we're doing right now. And I think that's unique. It's powerful. And people are looking for something different because there's a new network marketing company every other day, right? You guys are always battling on that. So Chuck, if I can go ahead and share my screen. And Chuck, if you want to interrupt me, Mitch, if you guys want to interrupt me with a question here or there, just go ahead and feel free to do that. And if we want to stop after we cover the Apple's training and ask questions before we go into the funnel, we can do that as well, okay? So again, this is the 80-20 Apple's rule, okay? It will always be this. And I think, Laura, I'm not sure, Lori and Ken and some other people sent some information and data on their leads, Mitch, and I'm looking at it, and you probably look at it like, wow, disconnect, no number, wrong number, phone center, business number, and you're like, these leads stink, right? Right? But you know what? Every time I looked at one of those things, Chuck, that you said, it's exactly on the 80-20 rule. Exactly, almost to the T. Okay, and I love what Chuck said. Listen, if I can get one builder out of 45 people and fill a funnel doing that, with this compensation plan, it not only is your ROI there, okay, with your compensation plan, it is the best thing you could ever do, okay? So you have to set your expectations, your mindset to working leads if you're going to do the co-op. And again, it's not for everybody. It's a very, very systematic, approachable, duplicatable way to build a business that I've used for decades, but it's not for everybody. But I want you to teach the principle. This way you'll know if this is the right business model for you. Or you take that warm market funnel, still use digital marketing, use the digital tools that we're providing for you guys. And again, John's done it for free, so you guys can go out there and run with that, okay? So 80-20 rule. So 80-20 Apple's rule. 80% of your leads, okay? Hard to hear this, but 80% are going to be rotten or sour apples, okay? That's just a fact, okay? It's always going to be that way. I don't care where you buy your leads, what you do. It's always social media, email marketing. It's always going to be that, okay? Now, if you have a good system, it doesn't mean they need to stay in the sour. That's why we say sour and rotten. Rotten apples are just bad information. You're not going to change that. Sour apples can be moved to green apples, which are good leads, okay? That's a lead maybe that you've had started to have a conversation with. They responded to you, left them a message, etc. And then there's 5% what we call red apples or hot leads, okay? So let's just break this down. We're going to keep it real simple for you guys. But I promise you, as you look at your results, they'll always fall somewhere plus or minus 10, 15% within this rule. Okay. And the system that we've built will sort and sift the leads into green and red apples and fill your funnel. That's the tough part about network marketing, whether it's warm market or cold market, is that sorting and sifting takes a lot of time. I love what John talks about in his book. You know, I've always taught 90% of your time and your effort should be focused on, you know, income producing activities. If it's not, you're missing the mark. And if we're sorting and sifting and our system is not doing that for us, then we're spending way too much time on non-income producing activity. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys, okay? All right, let's take a look at the bad apples. So I think it was Ken last. I was looking at Ken's data. And Ken, your data, if you're on this call, was spot on. Exactly what you said. Bad information, okay? And that's the overage. Right now, we're running at 30% overage. We guarantee 10, but we're running at 30% overage. Those are those bonus leads that you get where it says your share's up, but you're getting bonus leads, bonus leads, bonus leads. I think we're set at about 30% right now, just based on the success of the campaign and what we're doing, okay? Tire kickers, they go into a drip campaign. Looking for a better way, that means they have a network marketing company, but it's not working out for them, right? You know, that's all of us, right? We want something better. We're looking for the better widget. So those are not necessarily rotten apples. Those are just sour apples, you know, and there's a lot of loyalty in network marketing, which is great. So a lot of people are going to just looking for information, get information, but the timing is not right for them, okay? And that goes into the drip campaign as well. But here's what's unique. We talked about it, the Powerline. This is what's kind of cool because every single lead, whether it's a bad or sour apple, 80% of them, those are enhancing the power line. Those are names. Those are creating urgency. Those are creating that fear of loss. That's what we want. That's the goal of filling up this funnel. That's why I think in 2-3 months, when you can be consistent and you compound this and you double that penny day after day after day, you're going to see some results in this thing because it's going to build that urgency. And that's the part that I've never had before in building a system. So remember, every bad and sour apple is adding to your power line, even if they're bad information. You know what I mean? We want to get rid of them. We'll get rid of those sort themselves out. But remember, every single lead is adding to that urgency that we're trying to create. Okay. So let's talk about the green apples. Green apples, you might get them on the phone. You might send them a text and they respond. They might say they're not interested. Doesn't matter. Doesn't mean that they're not a good lead. Doesn't mean that the timing is just wrong for them. It's all about timing for people. Now, the cool thing, like Chuck said, you know, so many people are looking for home-based businesses right now. The timing is right for so many people. You know, it's just, we're almost forced to be looking for a second gig. And that's kind of cool, right? So the timing element is kind of shaken up right now. There's a time frame that we usually go by when we talk about leads. I'm not going to even mention it because I don't think it exists anymore. I think it's different. But the timing is going to be wrong for people. But it does not mean that they're not a good lead, and we don't want to keep them in the system and let the system do the work. Now, when I talk about the system doing the work, I'm saying Veil Tribe is doing all that for you. We're going to add value. We really buy into Tony Robbins, add value, create raving fans. We're going to train them. We're going to give them resources. John's going to give them more resources. Chuck's going to give them more resources. We're going to add stuff that we've learned over the years for them, and we're going to build those relationships on your behalf, okay? Again, filling a funnel. But if you just want to drop a share on top of a funnel and think you're going to get great results, that's not realistic. You know, it's just not realistic. You got to compound that effort. And that's what we talked about on Tuesday's call. It's a systematic way to build the business, okay? And remember, every lead is good for the power line. Urgency, 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 okay? Now we got the red apples, okay? Red apples have made it to part 3 in the new funnel that I'm going to show you here in just a few minutes. And you got to call them immediately, okay? I'm just kind of putting that in there. We're not talking about the how-to. I do have one slide in here to review, but we're not talking about what you need to do right now, but we're talking about more of the overview of what's happening with the leads and the funnel itself, but you have to take action immediately. These are real-time leads. If you're not calling your lead and communicating your lead, I mean, within an hour, I mean, really immediately is the way to do it. You have to really do it. To be really effective, you have to do it immediately. It's not good enough to do it later that evening. Now, having a conversation can be. That's why we teach texting first, because anybody can pick up their phone and shoot out a quick text. Hey, this is Rick. I saw you in the funnel. I'll reach out to you later. Something like that. You can get a text out, copy and paste it, but you can get it out. You have to communicate, or your numbers will not even hit the 80-20 rule, okay, if you're not doing that. So I'm just laying that out there very clear. So if you don't have the time, if it doesn't allow you to do that, then maybe the co-op's not the right way to build. Maybe focus more on the warm market, okay? Our goal is to move them to the warm market with a conversation and success bridge, okay? These are what we call hot leads. Now, it doesn't mean they're going to sign up right away. Doesn't mean they're going to go look at all your information. Doesn't mean the timing's right yet, but they're a hot lead, Okay, remember that bridge we talked about, the success bridge? This is something I've always bought into. I've trained this my entire career, okay? This is the magic of network marketing, okay? Because we all have a warm market. And the warm market used to work. 30 years ago, Chuck, when we were selling water filters, man, we could go puppy dog those water filters, and everybody was kind of interested. They wanted to make money because it wasn't saturated. The market was in a completely different place. The 90s, the same thing. But now it's a different world that we live. It's a digital world we live in. So, just building your warm market is not enough. It's just not enough. You have to have a cold market. And I call that the fuel. That's the fuel. But the goal is always to get them back into your warm market to have a conversation. That's the number one goal, is to figure out a fuel source that we can have conversations in the warm market. And that's what we call a hot lead. Okay. That's what we call a hot lead. So remember that success bridge. So our goal is to move them from the cold to the warm. The fuel is a co-op in this example to the magic, which is the warm market. The magic will always be the magic, okay? Relationships and conversations in your warm market, okay? Doesn't matter if you've known them all your life or you just got them from the co-op and you're slowly moving them back across that bridge into your warm market where they're in your phone and you have some kind of relationship with them. The magic will always be the magic. It's just the strategy is different. It's not the same as it used to be. We have to get more creative. And we have to have that fuel source. And that's what I love about the digital marketing and the cold market, is if you're talking to people that really want to have the conversation. If you have a system that will sort and sift and bring people across that bridge and show you who to talk to, now your efforts can be focused 90% on money making, payday activity, as John says. I love that, payday activity, okay? This is the review from last week. And what is our job? Is to text them immediately, is to call. 80% of the time, you're going to leave a voice message. Those are great green apples every time you leave a voice message. And then follow up with a quick email. You've done your job there. You've done your job there. Your goal now is to have that conversation. Ultimately, our goal is always to have that conversation with them and make them a red apple in your warm market. Move them back across that bridge. That three-prong approach will work as long as you take action immediately with the co-op, okay? All right, so Chuck, I'm going to pause here for just a second because I want to have you have an opportunity to add some input to this, or if there's any questions, okay? This is very, very simple. I'm trying to keep it very, very simple, but trust me when I tell you, these will be the numbers tried and true over and over and over again. And whether it's this co-op or any kind of digital marketing campaign or cold marketing campaign, whether it's a mailer, whether it's anything, this is either going to be the results you're going to get. And if you work it properly, the return on investment is going to be there. So Chuck, I'll turn it back to you for questions or thoughts, and then we'll go into the funnel.
Real good. Hey, great, Rick. Say, John, I know you're out there. Why don't you come in, unmute yourself, and give us a little input?
You're gonna have to unmute him, Chuck.
Huh?
You have to unmute him.
Oh, I got to unmute him? Okay, hang on a second. Let me do that. I see that smiling face. Okay.
There we go.
There you go.
There you go,
Good morning, everyone. Great to be here. Thank you, Chuck. And Rick, that was a phenomenal training. Rick and I were on the phone yesterday going through, he was sharing with me this apple analogy, which I absolutely love. But, the point that he talked about, that fuel, the point where he talked about those, those rotten apples feeding the power line, creating that energy, creating that sense of urgency, creating that fear of loss, compounding those numbers. So where the green apples start paying attention, those red apples are ready to act. I really love that analogy, Rick. And I think, guys, Rick started this, training off, talking about the co-op isn't for everyone. Okay. And I just want to reiterate that because, the last thing we want is we don't want negatives, right? We don't want people out there saying, it's crap. It doesn't work. I'm having zero success. I mean, I've gone through 50 leads, 100 leads. I spent $500 and it isn't working. Okay. I mean, when you're dealing in the cold market, right? You have to be consistent. Right. I mean, you talk to anyone that's been in network marketing. I mean, rarely are you ever going to step up to the plate and hit a home run the first time you swing the bat. I mean, this is about consistency, paying the price, putting in the time, honing your skills, building that thick skin, knowing how to overcome objections, you know, jumping on those leads immediately. I mean, so I just want to reiterate, I mean, some of you may want to really consider when you're, whatever batch of leads that you might be on, your first or your second, not re-upping. Okay, because we don't want you to waste your money. We don't want to waste leads. We don't want you to be frustrated and discouraged, right? I mean, you're that warm market funnel, right? People you know, people you have a rapport with, people that you that know, you know, that you know or they know. There's some connection there. Using that warm market funnel completely free, you know, in many cases can be your better path. Right? I mean, the cold market is for, you know, those warriors. I mean, those people with thick skin, because I mean, you know, I built my very first ever network marketing company, Chuck and Rick talking about the water filters. I built that cold market. I mean, that was back in the days when you did newspaper ads, right? And I was talking to hundreds of people a week in new, you know, cold market, people looking for opportunity. And I mean, it's you just got to have thick skin. So, I mean, I absolutely believe, Rick, what you've just done here, outlining using this Apple analogy is true. But folks, if you're going to be participating in the cold market, in the funnel system, you know, you need to really be thinking about if you're going to be willing to make the commitment to go the long term. Okay, the likelihood of you hitting a home run out of one batch of leads is pretty slim, right? I mean, you know, if you can average one good person out of a batch of leads, average, meaning you might go through 5 groups of leads and you might get 3 the second go around, but none the first go around, right? And none the third go around, and then 1 the fourth go around. So you need to be willing to put in the time. You need to be willing to make a commitment to the strategy and adding it to your portfolio. But I also want to take and reiterate, you don't want to. Don't put all your eggs in this basket. If you're going to pursue the co-op, do not put all your eggs in this basket. This is an addition to find someone new, to create some energy, to create, maybe tap into someone's new warm market, right? But don't stop. This is an addition to. If you're going to do the co-op, it's an addition to. But if you want to have success in it, it is going to be about being consistent. It's going to be about doing the timely follow-up, as he said, within that hour, that immediate real-time leads. I mean, don't sit and say they're worthless when you didn't follow up in 2 days, or when you didn't follow up at all. I mean, I promise you, there's people in this co-op getting 10 leads and haven't followed up with any of them, right? I mean, I know it's happening. So I'm still just incredibly optimistic and encouraged by this whole digital concept. Bottom line is, we live in a new world. Right? We live in a new world. There are so many, as Chuck outlined in the very beginning. I mean, millions and millions and millions of people that are new to looking for a home-based business. I mean, they're looking for what we have. And so the only other thing I'll just say about this is you know, anything in this business, you know, it's all about your posture and your confidence and your attitude and your mindset. And I mean, it's just such of a huge deal. And, you know, I mean, folks, this is not a get-rich-quick program. Nothing in network marketing is get-rich-quick. You have to pay the price. I don't care. You want to make big money in life, you've got to pay the price. I mean, I bet this week I averaged, on average, 6 Zooms a day. I've got 4 Zooms today, Saturday, right? You want to make big money. It isn't going to happen. It can. But the likelihood, you don't fall to the top of the mountain, man. You got to climb there. And if you want to be at the top of the mountain, you got to be ready to climb. You got to be ready to put in the time, put in the work, handle your disappointments. And again, but here's the thing, it's possible. You know, it's possible. And that's where, you know, in a job, you know, if you're working a job trying to get rich, your best off, you know, invest your money in that lottery, right? You know, I think they sell them at every 7-Eleven and everywhere. That's your best bet. But if you want to take control of it, we have an opportunity to do that right here in the network marketing industry. We absolutely change lives. Yes, there's people that happen accidentally, but for the vast majority of us, you're going to have to roll your sleeves up. You're going to have to be consistent. You're going to have to be focused, and you're going to have to take and talk to people. And this co-op is just another way, another avenue to talk to people. And if you're committed to it, you can build the skills, right? You can build the skills. Your 80-20 rule of, as far as your percentage of conversion may be low initially until you build those skills, but they're going to improve if you maintain that focus and consistency and just keep doing it. So I'm just super excited about the program and what we're doing and how it's going to add to everything. Chuck, I want to thank you for just being so crazy persistent and getting my attention to really pay attention to look at this, because I believe it's going to be a major part of our industry. I mean, what we're talking about here. So, and we've got the best of the best with Rick and Jeff Finn driving that traffic. And so, and then, coupled together with the Powerline, Valentis participating in that, allowing that to happen. So great stuff. We had a great July. August is already off to a fantastic start. So let's go out, rock and roll our sleeves up, go to work, stay focused, stay consistent. And you're just going to wake up one day and you're going to be amazed. But, it doesn't happen overnight. So Chuck, back to you.
Hey, John, thanks very much. And you hit the nail right on the head. I mean, obviously, in this business, folks, there's more disappointments than successes, and that's what generally takes most people out. I mean, we all have our disappointments. I have disappointments. Mitch has disappointments. John has disappointments. I mean, it's just a part of the business that we're in. And it generally takes new people out. I mean, that they just can't handle that up and down. But like John said, if you're willing to, grow the thick skin, we call it rhinoceros skin, right? I mean, it's you got to be almost bulletproof, like a rhinoceros. And, you develop that, and you develop, there's one thing that Rick, John, Mitch, myself have that a lot of you don't have, and that is belief, right? We know that this is going to work. We've done it before. And so there's no doubt in my mind that Valentis is going to provide me exactly what I'm willing to put forth an effort to get. There's just no doubt. So, we certainly have enough enthusiasm, enough experience, and enough belief for everybody if they want to do this. So plug into everything. Somebody says, what advice would you give for the new ones just starting out? Plug in, hang on, never let go, be on all the Zooms, become a sponge, get all the information, ask questions, get, right? I mean, you just got to be like a person on fire, and you just got to grab all the information you can possibly grab. So Rick, back over to you. You were unmuted. Okay.
There we go. All right, great. Good stuff, guys. I'm encouraged. So thank you, John. Fantastic. So, just to reiterate, guys, the 80-20 rule will apply. I love what John said. Again, it's not for everybody. This is a compounding effect. It's the great book called The Tipping Point. And there comes a point in anything with numbers that you just get to a tipping point and it starts to happen, right? And that's certainly with a funnel. We used to use a pipeline analogy a lot in network marketing. You got to fill that thing up. I like Chuck, you were talking about, hey, I got 500 and some people in my Powerline, right? In that 6-month process, right? Well, that's what you want. You want 500, you want 700. So even when you're adding people through the co-op, it's really the magic's going to happen in your warm market. The people that known for years. This is what's going to enhance your warm market. So let those two things work together, and figure out if the co-op's right for you. But I love that warm market funnel just as much. And if you haven't worked your warm market with the funnel, that should be number one. Your priority right there is giving John's book away and using that funnel. Okay, let's dive into the new funnel. And this is a little bit different. And this is what we do in digital marketing. We're always testing and letting the numbers dictate where we go. That's what I love about digital marketing. It's all about numbers. And my past in network marketing and building companies, whatever, I would just have an idea and think, well, this is the best thing since sliced bread. I never looked at the numbers, and I didn't realize how naive that was in business. But and sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. More often than not, it didn't work. But now I've realized through digital marketing, through this experience, that the numbers drive everything. So if you're gonna if you're gonna, you want that data that Chuck talked about, those millions of people looking for home-based business. That's a data point, right? That's a number we want to look at, right? If somebody's searching for something online, then that's a data point we want to look at. So same thing when we're talking about our funnels. We want to measure everything that we do, and that's what we're doing behind the scenes to optimize. So this will not be the final funnel. This is the next phase of the funnel, but this is a funnel that we've used in the past for a very, very long time. We've just modified it and made it even better along the power line, okay? So I'm gonna give you a demo site at the end so you can go look at this. We're not gonna dive into every detail of it, but there's a lot of copy here. John's book is being given away. This video has been used for a long time. We've tweaked it. It's very, very current. And there's also a workbook at the bottom that goes right along the video that we give away for free. And what we've learned over the years, when you give away free without no email obligation at all, they don't have to give us anything. Okay, we're going to just give them value. Going back to that creating raving fans, is that we'll find that about 0.5 to 1.5% more people will opt in and become fans of ours just by doing that. And that's going to be our theory and what we do in our follow-up as well. We're going to add value on your behalf as we fill your funnel. As your funnel gets more and more and more people, okay, there's going to be value added to them all the time, building that trust and that relationship with you. And next thing you know, somebody you might have had in a co-op shared 3 months ago, all of a sudden picks up the phone or texts you and says, hey, listen. So they went right from what you thought was a sour apple all the way to a red apple, and you're having a conversation immediately, okay? That's what's going to happen with a funnel. But we got to get to a tipping point. We got to fill the funnel. Now, you can fill the funnel with a co-op, but you always fill the funnel with your warm market, okay? You always fill the funnel. That's number one priority. Take your warm market funnel and fill your funnel. Now, you put both of those in there, and obviously it's a lot more effective, okay? So we're going to add huge build trust we talked about. The funnel is going to begin to drip, okay? Add more value, and notifications are going to be sent once a lead comes in, okay? So I'm going to walk through I want you guys to understand what's happening so you understand how to follow up, be even better when you're doing the follow-up, and especially when you start to have that conversation, because you're going to want to duplicate in a very similar fashion, okay? So let's talk about the funnel drip rope. 6 months, we're going to sort and sift. So behind the scenes, every person that comes in, you might get a bad phone number, right? They don't want to talk to anybody. A lot of people are like that. They're going to get a bad phone number. They're going to get a business phone number, whatever, but they're going to get a good email. And that email is in your system, and we're going to be dripping on them constantly on your behalf for 6 months, because they're in the power line for 6 months. And remember, they have value in the power line. They bring urgency. They bring that sense, that fear of loss to the power line. So that's powerful to have more and more people in there. Each apple, no matter what, builds a power line. Each pre-enrolled is dripped on. And the power of any business, this is just a business rule, is the list. When companies buy companies, they're not buying their technology most of the time, or their patents. Now, if you're in the medical field, it might be a little different. They're buying the list. So as network marketers, we don't really have that confidence, that sense of, but that's what you're doing. Marketing. You're building a list. You own that list. They're your contacts. And if you drip on them properly, you re-engage them all the time. And again, it's just following through. The list has saved me so many times, in business where, I needed, $20,000 to do this or $30,000 to do this. Well, I just, go grab an affiliate link for something, and I send it out to my list. The next thing I know, I got my $30,000. So the list, the power of the list. Now that's a big example, but the power of a list for an average network marketing is powerful if you have the tools and the system to do it. And that's what we have for you guys. Okay. And I'm not just talking about, right now, we don't have a warm market series on the warm market. I want to talk to John and get John's input before we do that, because that's directly with his funnel. But with this funnel, we're constantly building a 6-month campaign for you guys, giving reports value on behalf. And eventually in this demo funnel, we'll give you guys access to that so you can see all the content that's going out, okay? And so once a lead comes in, a notification is sent. So you guys have gotten a lot of these, right? And it'll say 20 out of 45 co-op lead is being delivered, okay? Now is the time to take action. I know that we sound like a broken record here, but you have to take action now. Not 2 hours later, not later that evening, right now. This is a person that's probably putting their name out there 2 or 3 times maybe, but they're out there searching. So the person that hits, now it's exclusive to us in our campaign, but we can't stop them from out there searching and looking at multiple different things. So we want to shoot that text out immediately. Or better yet, I love what we heard on Tuesday. People that are picking up the phone call and calling them right away, and they're still on the site. That's even more powerful. But maybe you're not comfortable with that right away. So use your phone, use your text, okay? Part Part 2, now once they go here, they're going to go into the Powerline video. Now we're going to start to lift the hood for them and show them exactly what we're going to do for them. And it kind of explains to them, you're going to start getting text from the company that we're building your team for you. Okay, very powerful, very, very unique to you guys. And I've never quite seen it done this way. So it's very, very cool what the company's done. Okay, placing the Powerline, we're showing them under the hood. We're kind of giving some of our secrets. And number 3, you can't read this. I'm going to give you guys a demo at the end. You guys can go in there and dissect it. Now, behind the scenes, our software has actually already put the coach together, okay? So in this case, your coach, Chuck Hanson, here's his email, here's his phone number, and that's a copy written up there, basically trying to inspire a few of those people, those VIP people, the people that are always going to sit in the front of the plane, the people that want it right now are going to pick up the phone and call you, and that will happen. It's not going to happen often, but it will happen. And I tell you right now, there's nothing more exciting than that when people start calling you and say, listen, tell me about your gig. Right? But it will happen, especially as you fill a funnel up. It'll happen more often from the rotten and the sour apples that you wrote off 4 months ago. It'll happen more from those than it will from the leads in real time, to be honest with you, because of the drip series. Okay. So that's the 3-part series in the funnel. Okay. Now what's going to happen, this is new and you guys have probably already got that. You got a hot lead notification. So you've already got a notification that so-and-so was in your funnel. You have a new pre-enrollee. But now you're going to get this same notification minutes later, a lot of times, a few minutes later, hot enrolled, John Crim just enrolled. So part 3, so contact them ASAP. So these are somebody that did step 1, did step 2, watched the video. Now they did step 3. So now they've gone through the process. You know that their interest level is a little bit higher than everybody else, okay? So we built that feature in just recently. So Chuck, has anybody gotten any hot leads yet? Mitch, I see you're muted there, bud.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I mean, I've already heard from some other people. Eileen just said that she got hot leads. So yeah, they're out there. They're going out there. So
good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got a call. What is a hot lead from somebody?
Yeah. So thanks, Mitch, because the training is timely then, right? And we just turned this on yesterday. So there's probably about 40, 50 hot leads out there. But the percentage of people, I mean, I got the numbers before I got on this call from John. The percentage of people that are going through all 3 parts is blowing my mind. I don't even want to say it yet because it's way too high. Doesn't make any sense based on my experience, okay? So people are watching this. They're getting engaged in part 2 and they're going through. So that's very encouraging. Now maybe hot lead is not the right word because hot lead for me is that red apple. A red apple is only a red apple when they've crossed that cold market to the warm market conversation. To me, that's the way I look at it. If I'm having a conversation, doesn't mean they're going to sign up right now. Doesn't mean the timing is right now. Doesn't mean that. That means that they're interested to have a conversation. I've built some rapport with them, and now I have the ability to get in touch with them, give them assets, find out what their needs are, find out what they're interested in, make it all about them. To me, that's a hot lead. I'll take those conversations all day long. I want as many red apples as I can. So this doesn't necessarily mean it's a hot lead in that perspective. It's not a red apple yet to me until I have a conversation, but it shows me their interest level. It's a hot interest level lead. So it's a person you want to take action on. Okay. So that's good news, guys. Good news. Okay. Systematically fill your funnel. Now, this is another text that you guys, maybe you know what it is, but this is a new one. But basically when your lead is complete, you're going to get this. Okay. So if you're taking that systematic approach, you want to get right back into the funnel. Okay. You want to get right back into the co-op. So that's just a lead just to know when your co-op is full. Okay. Okay. This is another one, Tribe Demo, know the funnel on the site. So this is tribedemo.com. Okay. You guys can go there, check out the entire funnel, go through it. Now there will be no text. There'll be no notification. There'll be no ebook at this point, but you can go through all 3 steps. And we're gonna change the videos on step number 3. We're gonna look at that and we're gonna split test that. I believe you have a video called "It's a Miracle." Is that right? Is that what it's called? It's a Miracle. John sent that to me. I like that a lot. Right now we have the coffee one up there. A lot. Dave's in a lot. Great video as well. So we're gonna test those things and see what kind of results we get from both of those. Just because again, it's designed to give them just a little bit about the company. We don't want to give them too much information. We want to give them a little bit. We want to leave them longing for more information like John teaches, okay? So that's all we're doing, right? We're showing them under the hood with the Powerline video, what we're gonna do for you. There's gonna be some text so they know what that is when that happens. And now we're saying, hey, this is why we're one of the fastest growing companies in the industry. And here we are. So we're going to test that coffee video. We're going to test It's a Miracle and a few more, okay? And then again, guys, this is the Val Tribe. Get this. John is giving this away for free. Normally, this would be a charge for this, an annual charge, and he's giving it to you guys for free. So make sure you take advantage of that. Everybody, whether you work in the co-op or not, this is the most powerful tool that we have in your arsenal right now. And there's more of these coming. There's more of these coming. We're going to have product funnels to give samples out. We're going to have an arsenal of funnels for you guys because we're introducing you to digital marketing. This is just not a one-time campaign we're trying to do in co-op. It's not. We're trying to optimize this, guys, to give you another way to build your business. But I love what John said. This is just one spoke in the wheel, okay? Every one of these funnels are different spokes in the wheel. Ultimately, it's all about your warm market and those conversations you're having. And if you haven't put everybody in your phone through this funnel yet, you're really, I would say you're not doing your job, if I could be so bold. You have to do that. This is a fresh look. You're giving a lot of value. It is a new world. Even if they're not in network marketing, everybody should read the principles in this book because they apply to every business. They apply to every single American. Okay, so we need to get this book out there and get it in people's hands, and John's giving it away for free. So go out there. Be consistent with it because you can fill your funnel without a co-op. You can fill your funnel with consistency just by putting 20 contacts in, 20 contacts in, 20 contacts again. And maybe when you've done that and your phone is completely in the funnel, then you enter the co-op because now you don't have any more contacts, right? Now you got to be cultivating. My advice is to do it both at the same time, right? That's what we like to do. So, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, there's people on here that don't that aren't familiar with the warm market funnel. Can you give them the what their custom warm market funnel link would be?
This is it right here, Mitch. So they go to Val Tribe. Okay. You know what? Let's go ahead and do this.
Talk about the one that's attached to their username.
Yep. Hold on one second. Let me do something here real quick.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull it up so we can just take a look at it, Mitch.
Yeah, great. A lot of people haven't used it yet, so.
Yeah, and this is really the place. This is the place to start. It really is. I mean, I couldn't agree more. That if your warm market is it. You know, again, we're teaching the principle of bringing, having fuel to fill your warm market, to have conversations, right? And so if you haven't built your own warm market with all your own contacts, then we're really, we're kind of missing the boat. So I'm glad you brought this up. All right, let's see. Can you guys see that? You got it? Okay, good. All right, so this is ValeTribe.com or ValeTribeSystem.com, okay? Great little video. John does a good thing here. So right here, this is says, I'm ready to commit. Now, we asked for a commitment here, okay? So we're not charging for it. Normally, we charge $197, $297 for an annual, because there's a lot of, the texting costs, there's money behind this. It's not free. You can't do it for free. So we're in lieu of that, we're asking for a commitment, okay? And they go through this commitment letter. Okay, and this is how you build your warm market funnel. Okay, you put your last name in here in exchange for the warm market at no cost. I'm making a 1-year commitment. Okay, I'm committed to enroll one person every month for the next 12 months minimum. Okay, I'll be a great student, like Chuck says. I'll attend all the Zooms. I'll be there. Okay, I understand this is a warm market funnel that's for the warm market, not to be advertised. Okay, we cannot have advertising on these funnels. It'll shut us down. Okay. I understand this will give me access to the Blue Ocean Co-op. Okay, that's the co-op that we've been talking about. And I understand that there's no guarantee of success, et cetera, et cetera. So then they put their phone number, all their email, their cell, whatever. It'll validate that for them. They hit that and it'll register. I don't know if it'll work. I don't actually have one, but let's just see if what is yours, Legend, Chuck? Let's just see. I don't know if it'll recreate it or yeah, it's already created. So you can't do it. So you just go there and do that. That's how you create. So that's ValeTribe.com. That's ValeTribe.com. So everybody should start there. That's the place to start. And as you do that, think about this for a second. Especially if you're participating in the co-op, you put some warm market contacts in there. You put some people through the warm market funnel. So you've got 20, 30 people that have done this. And listen, your warm market, if you do it right, this is the simplest thing you'll ever do. Take the A's, start with the A's, and say, hey, Abby, I need a favor, okay? Two-step texting system. Hey, Abby, I need a favor. 95% of people are going to say, yeah, what's up? How can I help you? 95% if they're an acquaintance of yours, okay? I just launched a new business. I'm giving away a free book. I wonder if you'd check it out for me online. Boom, okay? And you send the link, okay? You will fill that warm market funnel overnight. Do 20 a day, do 10 a day, do 5 a day. Divide it into 30 days, the number of contacts in your phone. You'll fill it up. Now, you filled that up. You have tons of people in there, okay? And now you start engaging the co-op. Okay, now the co-op starts putting people on top of that, right? Again, just get that image of a funnel. You're trying to fill that funnel up, and it's going to eventually squeeze people down. Just the urgency, the sense, the fear of loss, all those things. So you want that. So they're designed to work together. The warm market and the cold market. It's all about that warm market, and you'll get more signups from the co-op than you in the warm market than you will the cold market. I promise you, if you do it right. So that's what you guys want to do, is you want to put people in there. Be consistent. Get a process in your business. Figure out what your process is based on your time commitment, okay? Your level of commitment financially to build your business, okay? Any business costs money. This is the great thing about network marketing. It's so low, even with adding shares every month, it's such a low overhead if you want to go out there and start any other type of business with such a high potential reward, right? But figure out what your financial commitment is, and then figure out, what your goals are. And according to that, just build a plan. Get with your sponsor and build a plan. And maybe we'll do that on the training. We'll just take some people and say, all right, we're going to build a plan for Chuck. We're going to build a plan for so-and-so. And we'll show the process that we would do that. And every good sponsor should do that. So now the plan is I'm going to put 5 people in every single day, okay? And once I have 20 or 30 people, I'm going to engage in the co-op, okay? But not until then, right? I'm going to engage in the co-op. And so that's just kind of a process, a different mentality for network marketing. So hopefully that helps, Mitch. But that's how you get your warm market co-op. Or your funnel, your warm market funnel, okay? So guys, any questions, any thoughts? Anybody want to add to anything? That's really the content I had for today. I wanted to show you guys the funnel. I think I've given you all the pages, the URLs that you need. We've got this recorded up, so I'm sure it'll go out. But if you want, Chuck, we can take some time for some questions or some additional thoughts. We have a few minutes left.
Hey, real quick, the link that you'll get if you don't already have a warm market funnel is whatever your Valentis username is, .valtribe.com. Okay, because some of you are new and some of you don't have the warm market funnel yet. Okay, so it's whatever your Valentis username is, .valtribe.com.
Yeah, but it won't until you go through that process, Mitch. It won't be live.
Right, exactly. Some of you have.
If you already have one, or we engage you early on, that's what it is. Correct.
Right.
But now you have to make that commitment in order to get it.
Right, but that's what it will be, correct?
Yeah, correct. That's exactly right. It's a subdomain. That's exactly right.
All right, Chuck. Anything else?
Let's see. Gracie had a question. Gracie, what about a lead that comes in at an ungodly hour and don't normally make calls or send texts for fear of upsetting them? Wait, you don't have any other choice. So, I would go ahead and send a text. Most people have got, I think maybe not, I have been chewed out, more than once for sending a text to the West Coast. I'm up early, right, at 5 o'clock in the morning, East Coast time. So it's only 2 o'clock in the morning, West Coast time. And I have sent text messages out West. And I got a text message back and said, please refrain from sending text messages at 2 o'clock in the morning, because some people leave their phones on and, all of a sudden you wake them up. So I guess, to stay on the safe side, probably wait until it's a decent time, whether it's in Hawaii or, but you gotta know where you're calling, right? So you can ask, your assistant on your phone, hey, what time zone is area code 760? And they'll go, oh, San Diego. And you go, okay, I know that's 3 hours ahead of me, so I better not send it over there just now. So again, that's what Siri does for me all the time. Hey, where's this area code? And she tells me. So I don't know what I did without having that executive assistant. Any other questions? Why don't you guys come on, unmute yourself. Yeah,
Hey, Chuck, I'll just make a couple of quick comments. Number one, to the point you were just talking about. And, as you think about it, a lead comes in at the middle of the night and the leads are instant.
Yeah.
So that means they're up.
They're awake.
They're awake and they're looking at it. So, if you happen to be up and it comes in at 2 o'clock in the morning, hey, looks like you're burning the midnight oil. Excited to talk to you tomorrow. I mean, making that connection, if the lead comes in, it didn't happen in their sleep, they're up. So I think actually don't be afraid to reach out to them right away. The other thing I do want to mention, just from a standpoint of, it happened just, today, I had to send something to John Crim to update. Their funnel wasn't working. If you change your username, okay, although Valentis and the funnel is working together with the rotator, it's not in the updates that you might make in your own back office. So if you change your username, your funnel will not work. Once you set your funnel up, you do not want to change that username. And if you do, you need to reach out, to myself or Chuck or one of us kind of tightly tied to this process to get that updated for you. But, because you start sending out, or even if you buy a set of co-op leads and now you change your filter or your username, you're not getting any leads because it doesn't know who you are. So just an important note.
Awesome. Hey, John, I got a little note here from Bill Ball. Bill says he had some success. So let me unmute you, Bill. Where are you at? Oh, there you are. Let me unmute you if you don't mind sharing a little bit of your success. Where'd you go? Oh, there you are. I see you. Hang on.
Okay, you got me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, great. So I'm in the airport. It might be a little loud in the background. But so I had a lady call me from Gulfport. Actually, she got on the system. I called her right up. We had a great conversation, Gulfport, Mississippi. And she said, I'm not ready to get started today, but I'll get started in a week. If you call me in a week on the 31st, she says, I'll get started. I said, okay, great. So she had done her research. She looked, she was in the funnel. She had looked up the company and checked out all the products. And she got started yesterday. Her and her husband, they're gonna start taking the Amulin, and they have a group that they meet at in their community, and they're gonna share it with all the people there. So, she's looking for something to do. She's a little bit older, but she was looking for something to do from home in this new world. She loved John's book, and that turned out to be a really great lead. It was one of 11 that I got. I think it was probably like the third lead that I got, and I worked it and I followed up, and it definitely does work. So it was a great lead, and I'm excited to see where it goes with her.
Awesome. Hey, congratulations on that. That's great. I think, Chuck, and to John's point earlier, we're going to see, and even for what Rick said, we're going to see a lot more success the more people go into the funnels. So I think we're going to start hearing more and more success stories. So that's awesome. Congratulations, Bill. Chuck, back to you.
Well, hey guys, unless there's anything else, Gracie, you said how can we send them access when they say they did not receive the email? Send it to them again, right? So
is he talking about the book or access?
Yeah. So if they're already pre-enrolled, then just start following up with them. So
no, I think Chuck, I think he's referring to some people haven't actually got the ebook download.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
if they didn't get the ebook download,
or is there a link that we can go to give it away if we need to?
Yeah, you can download it yourself.
Rick,
yeah, I would say everybody should have it downloaded themselves and send it out, because if there's a filter or something that there's nothing we can do about it. And we don't want to start inundating John and the girls with requests like that. So I'd make sure everybody that's in the co-op has the ebook. This way, if you get that, it becomes like an asset. I mean, eventually it'd be kind of cool even if it was in the app, if there's a section in the app that we could do it from. But yeah, that's how we handle it for sure.
Right. So that would explain, Gracie had a question. There's a handful of people that didn't get it for one reason or another. It may have something to do with their filters, right?
Yeah. Or a lot of times, I'd say it's 78% of the time it's in their junk box and they don't realize it. But
there you go. Yeah. All right, fantastic. Anything else? Chuck?
Great job. Hey, congratulations, Bill.
All right, so we're done for the day, Chuck?
Good, I think so. Rick, thank you very much. John, thanks for popping on. I know that you got a busy day, and it is the first of the month. The best time to start building your business is today. I mean,
Yep.
today. It's the first of the month. Don't wait. Don't procrastinate. Be consistent. Do what everybody else is doing. I mean, I push as hard as I can, in the beginning of the month to make the middle of the month and the end of the month better, right? So get going, plant those seeds. If you're not in the co-op and or your leads are starting to flow out, or you've reached your maximum, then go ahead and get another share or 2 or 3 and come on back in. So that's it from me, guys.
All right. Well, everybody have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world, and God bless. Take care.